Welcome to Vintage Driven. We're kicking off an epic 3-part series, The Coast to Coast.
Join us for a behind-the-scenes look at the fun and adventure of a truly life-changing trip.
So there's no need to show off this early in the whole trip.
If you love vintage metal, dust and gravel roads, you're in the right place.
Do you think we'll see any sheep?
We catch up with old friends.
Oh shit, I don't want that, you know.
We get to interview and meet the owners of these cars.
Paid £58 for it in 1938.
And this is what he used to go to drive to his gold mine.
We start in Blenheim on the east coast, and over the next few days we're crossing the rugged heart of the South Island to reach Hokitika.
Putting on that woman's makeup.
Yeah,
good.
Good to turn the tap on.
Oh, that'll be better.
Seeing this video, if you're watching it, stay on because it is just going to be phenomenal. You'll just see some amazing countryside.
In this video, we are going to tackle the Molesworth to Hamner, an incredible journey that won't disappoint.
But before we can start the Coast to Coast, we need to travel from Christchurch up to Blenheim.
Double trouble?
Yeah.
Where? Vintage Driven. Where's your Vintage Driven head?
It's too big for me.
That's probably a good way of doing what we want to do, isn't it?
It is.
That's much better.
Yeah. Hang on, it'll be here. So I've got to find out where we're living.
So many days to go.
Hey?
5:30.
Hey, here we are. Here we are. We're in Blenheim. Nice little trip up there from Christchurch today. Quite scenic it was. Lovely lunch actually by the chef, and so she did well today. And looking forward to a couple of wee cleanses. It'll be a dusty day tomorrow, so we want to have a little bit of reserve. Catch it.
Hey, what a lovely collection of stuff you got going on here. That's Bruce's girlfriend for the weekend, Barbara.
We hide tonight.
Well, you can't get better.
No, true.
Unless you know, can you?
Dead right.
And
Car number
our
47.
number, should you get messed up with us driving in the dust tomorrow, is number 47.
47.
So it is.
And 51.
Brucey is
Washington.
15 or 51.
51.
Well, welcome to the YouTube channel, Vintage Driven. Today we're at the start of the well-anticipated coast to coast in Marlborough, starting off in Blenheim and winding up on the west coast of the South Island in Hokitika. See Simon, good to see Simon here. Well, of course it is, because he's always doing the filming. There's 42 cars in this rally. It's that's a close-off point, but it's about a 5-hour run today, isn't it?
Well, she said 5 to 8 hours they've allowed, so that's quite a window.
Yeah, so we'll be able to stop and have a cup of tea as we go
It's
along.
going to be fun. We're going to see some beautiful countryside. You know, for all our viewers from overseas who haven't seen New Zealand or want to come to visit New Zealand, we've got some great scenery. We've got a few characters on the trip as usual, haven't we?
Well, I'm Joanne.
Do you think we'll see any sheep? So, yeah, look, tag along. It's going to be, this is over 3 days, as Si was just saying. We've got some stunning country to go through, so yeah, let's go do it, eh?
Okay, safe travels, everyone.
Just started off on the long anticipated run from Marlborough down through Molesworth Station, which is just on 500,000. Nah, that's wrong. And how far is it? How many acres?
Oh, I think it's 500,000.
450,000 acres. The hell's that? We'll go with that.
We'll fact check it later in the year and we'll do a research.
Yeah. I know there's, what they say, 45,000 sheep.
45,000 sheep, it's a lot of sheep.
It's a lot of sheep. I don't know who counts them, but anyhow, that's how it is. It's a bloody beautiful day that we're charging into. We're running sort of at the tail end of the 42 cars that are participating.
Yes.
The first half hour was very dusty, heading through a bit of wine country at the moment.
Drama already?
Drama on the high seas.
Right.
See the opportunity, the owners on the bus.
And not much you can do about that.
No.
Just don't over-rev it, Brucey.
I wouldn't. 3,200, mate.
3,200, drop it back to 26. Okay?
Okay.
And then we won't have the fan belt flying off like that again. So there's no need to show off this early in the whole trip.
I was talking about just brace you down the grass.
Oh, yeah, well, it worked. All right.
Wasn't a bad tape on that.
No. Thank you, sir.
Oh, look at this.
Nah, bug it, stay there. On the back of my truck is what you need to do. Hurry slowly. All right? Okay. No revving.
Okay.
Thank you, team.
What just happened there, Russell?
Brucey was doing a little show off there, coming up on the inside on the grass here. Nothing dangerous. Look at it. It's beautiful here. And revved it a bit high and the belt flew off the alternator.
Right.
So let's roll it. Whoop, see, there he goes. It's going to happen again. Let's go.
Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, what the hell are they doing? Oh, hang on, he wants to go.
Hey?
He wants to go.
Dropped off.
Like the Vino.
Sitting on the road?
Didn't see anything.
What are they missing?
Something might have dropped off.
Beautiful. How we going, Russell? Good? Enjoying?
Oh, absolutely. Just to think that these vehicles are 95 years old. It's like taking your great grandmother for a run. You've got to look after them. But no, they're built for these roads. Delight to drive. You never know when a wheel's going to fall off, a gearbox blow up, or you're going to drop a fan belt.
We're starting into the Molesworth. Just have a look around here at this spectacular vista that we're going
it's
through.
a vista, all right? There's a lot of vistas going on, isn't there?
A lot of vistaing going on
There's
at the
a
moment.
vista over there. And there's a vista here, clearly.
There's clearly, well, hang on, if I get out of the road, look what we got down there.
So we're going over there to a place called Hamner.
Hamner,
and,
yeah.
It's going to take us another 5 or 6 hours, maybe, if we're lucky.
At least 6 hours. By the time we stop and keep you sort of filled in into the absolutely splendid, would be the word, scenery. It's probably world beating. There'll be a lot of you out there that'll say no, but I'm saying yes. And look, you can look around all these hills and there's not a sheep to be seen.
And if you look out there in the distance, Brucey's there, up there waiting for us.
Yeah.
We like to keep him waiting.
Yeah.
Hopefully his car isn't broken again.
No, he's probably up there.
If you weren't aware what happened earlier on the side of the road, what happened? Can you just fill us in?
He was missed a gear, I think, over-revved and popped the fan belt off. So that was a little bit of blood giving to to get it back on, but we got it back on. We've got the team coming up behind us here, which we'll wave past.
Yeah.
And give them the thumbs up.
They're the last vehicle though, aren't they?
They are, so we're right, we'll be by ourselves.
Yeah.
So we are. So everyone's just hurrying slowly and enjoying everything, so
we'll get moving.
We'll follow on ourselves, shall we?
Yeah. Let's get moving. What's going on here? We're having bloody sandwiches. We've only just got 5 minutes down the road and we're having another chinwag.
It must have been up on the spare wheel. because there's nothing in the engine bay because I'm thorough like that.
It would have been the 12 that you were using, was it?
No, it was
13 and 14.
It was 13 and 14.
No, don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
Oh, it would have been the 12 that was lost.
Replaced. Right. Just went into the...
So Tom is riding with Bruce, aren't you, Tom?
I am.
You've
I
drawn
am
the
indeed.
short straw. But what I thought I'm going to get you to do is use our little camera here and you can film some stuff in your car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Nelson Vintage Car Club member, actually chairman, but we're running a 3-day event, the Coast to Coast Tour, which takes us through these amazing back roads and just really explore how amazing it is. Because right now I'm standing on this gravel road that looks like we're going to nowhere, with hills and backdrop that you just wouldn't believe in a beautiful sunny day. I mean, what could be better than that? It's about encouraging people in their vintage cars of any era to really just enjoy and get out and enjoy a small group tour. And we're just all out there together. Except today, we've had a few breakdowns. So we're one of the back of them, and the tour's ahead. But that's all good because everybody's doing their thing and having fun. This all started with a friend, Gordon Dacomb, who sadly passed away last year just after our very first rally. And he had an idea and he said to me very quietly, I've got an idea, let's do a coast to coast. So we're going to pick up water in Blenheim, we're going to drive the back roads and we're going to drop it off in Hokitika. So the idea was born. Well, if we'd had it 2 weeks ago, we would have been not doing it. But the roads are open, they've all been restored from the floods and the storm that went through, and we're good to go. And even better, the Rainbow is a closed road. We're travelling on that tomorrow. You'll see that. It's fantastic. And we've got private access. So we get to drive these roads when hardly anybody else is doing it. Seeing this video, if you're watching it, stay on because it is just going to be phenomenal. You'll just see some amazing countryside. Yeah, we're going to be a bit tired and a little bit dusty and perhaps a little bit cranky and really thirsty by the end of the day. But we're going to have fun. You know, actually, while we're driving these roads, actually pause and stop and look around you and try and absorb it and soak it in because you don't get to do this every day.
Brucey coming. Pass down the inside there, Brucey. Could you fly that drone from down at the other side of the bridge up here? Get cars coming down?
Yes.
We'll do that, eh?
Yeah, let's do that.
What's the latest, Russell?
We've just gone into the Molesworth by about 10k, I would say. So we've got just on 80k to go. My arm's getting a little bit sore with changing down and up and down. And
touching my knee?
No, I haven't touched your knee yet.
He's only starting with your knees. He's going for your gear stick.
Yeah, no, she's good. It's a stunning bit of country. World class. It should be a World Heritage Park, I reckon.
Tell us about you and the car and what you've been up to.
That was my first car, which I bought in 1956. I paid $20 for it, and it had a seized motor and no front seats and a broken windscreen. So I just went to the local wreckers, bought another engine, pair of seats and a windscreen for another $20, and I've kept it going ever since. Done 500,000 miles on it since I've had it.
And she's tracking well today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It just if I wanted to go to Invercargill tomorrow, I just get in and go. It's that reliable. The only time it ever let me down was 65 years ago, and the oil pipe cracked, pumping the oil up into the front of the motor, and it pumped it all out onto the ground and did a big end. That's the only time it's ever failed to get me home in 500,000 miles.
Si's doing a bit of a commentary.
Good evening, good afternoon.
Right.
You'll be on. You're allowed to be here.
On and off.
Yeah, and that is your wife.
Hi. Sorry, I sort of got into that, tidying up a bit, and I haven't finished off.
There's nothing in your contract that says you have to do the clean up every day.
We're getting there. Yeah.
Hell, that heavy endings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us about your car and your journey and where you're from. And
Okay, this is my father's car. He bought it in 1938. It had a broken crown wheel carrier. He paid £58 for it in 1938. He started work on it, and then he ended up pulling the whole car apart, and he reconditioned the motor and did the diff, the gearbox, everything. but he obviously wasn't interested in bodies. So he used the car right through from 1939 when he got it back on the road to 1956 when it broke its crankshaft going to work one day. He bought some more bits intending to put it together, but life caught up with him and bringing up kids, and it sat in the shed until he died in 2002. So I inherited the car. I didn't have any sisters or no brothers. No, I had sisters but no brothers. So I ended up with a car. So I took the engine from Christchurch to Auckland and did it all up in Auckland. I bought a new Phoenix crankshaft from England, conrods with shell bearings. The Phoenix crankshafts don't break because that's what their problem is. Did up all the engine in Auckland to the best of my ability, shipped it down to Christchurch, put it in the car down there, and proceeded to take it to Auckland. And then that's me 74 years on, sitting on the bonnet in exactly the same place. Don't fit as well.
What are your thoughts on this coast to coast so far?
It's great. I've never done the Molesworth before, but in my younger days I've done the Rainbow in 1965 with 2 Model A Roadster pickups and 6 guys, and back of the roadster was completely full of beer. What do we do? I think we got 2 punches, we got stuck in a Ford on the Rainbow, and when we came back via the Muria Saddle where we're going to go on Monday.
Real adventure though, hey?
It was an adventure.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Hey,
great.
Thanks Neil for your time.
Yeah,
Great.
right.
We stopped there for a little bit of lunch out in the middle of goddamn nowhere. What a fantastic place to be stuck. And ran into an old mate of mine here who we see on the Irishman's Rally, Shane.
How are
Hey,
you?
Shane, mate.
Yeah, good man.
Good on you.
Good to see
I
you.
see you've got a new car this year.
Yeah, we've got a
for this run.
30 sedan.
Yep.
Mitchell gearbox, overdrive.
Yep.
It goes good.
No dust suppressant underneath it. I mean, oil leaks.
Yeah, well, it's a Model A, so they just leak oil, don't they?
Yeah. And what about the crew in there? Where are they from?
Well, they're nearly as old as the car.
Are they? Well, you better get in there and have a bit of a look.
There's my father Wayne. My mum Nolene, and there's my wife Nikki.
What do you all think of what we're doing here?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. I like that.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Pretty dusty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. What about Shane's dad? What do you think of it?
Bloody good.
Bloody good. Yeah.
Looking forward to tomorrow, like through Rainbow Station. Should be a good day.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more undulating than what we've got today.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been told that it can be quite undulating on the underside of the car. Subscribe, push all the buttons when you see them on the TV, like just go, everything, doesn't matter, won't cost you a cent. Okay, won't cost you a cent. But we had a bit of an update this morning when we woke up, and we've now made $5.41 US.
How much do you get for a like a subscription or whatever? Like, is that
that'll alert you to what we're when we post something else.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. It's no money involved, because I used to look at that subscription stuff and go, oh shit, I don't want that.
Yeah.
We're not going to get rich quick, but we're having a lot of fun trying to.
Yeah. No, some good videos. I've had a look through and.
rough coming in that hill, wasn't it?
Oh,
Holy shit.
treacherous.
Oh my god, it's like solid rock.
Oh, I'll put these on for the next leg.
Cheers everybody, well done, we made it, hey?
Soda water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're going to pixel it out for the, you know, our, you know, the...
Let's get pissed in.
Not too bad. You've been here putting on that woman's makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I would recommend anyone coming to New Zealand to come to Hamner Springs and have a look.
Well, they've got some hot pools there, haven't they?
Yeah,
It's a therapeutic sort of part of your experience in Hamner as part of the hot pools.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed part 1.
We've had an absolute ball. It's not easy driving those old girls through those conditions. A lot of males will sort of appreciate what I'm saying there.
We've got 2 more parts to come. Part 2, we're travelling from Hamner through to Murchison. Thanks for bearing with us, and respect. Thank you from me and Russell.